Hello, Leo. Welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. This is your weekly tarot reading for the sign of Leo. So let's take a look and see what's going on for Leo's sun in play for you. Here we go. Leo tarot reading for August 6th. Hi, Luna. All right. Wheel of Fortune. First thing that's coming up for you is Wheel of Fortune and Fate. So that's timing. Means things are changing and shifting. So we'll see how that plays. King of Cups, Seven of Cups, Page of Cups. So that's all balance. Okay. Hi, Nessa. So I have the King of Cups. So that's overwhelming emotion. That's capability, talent, and skill with emotions. I have the Seven of Cups. Also, come on my YouTube, Karma on Deck, and have a look there where you can see the cards in play a little clearer. There's a picture in picture for you. So the Seven of Cups is showing up for Leo. And how this is talking to us and what it's saying is that we're starting to find some like internal balance. This card references all the different elements in our life starting to not be so overwhelming. Like finally catching our rhythm, we're catching our stride. We're starting to feel a little bit more mellow, a little bit more joy, a little bit more playfulness. I do see that Leo is on their feet quite a bit lately. You're going to find yourself probably doing a little bit more physical labor. Nothing sedentary going on for you. We have the Page of Cups, usually means new relationship. So it doesn't always mean a love and lover's relationship, but it does mean new relationship or newness. This Page of Cups in meaning new relationship can also tell us that you have a moment within your relationship where you're having a honeymoon phase, for example, or renewal or an appreciation for that individual. Okay. So the Page of Cups is newness, renewal. I do see that prior to this situation and before this balance came into play, because we have the Two of Cups, which means external balance too. Usually we'll see one or the other or both. But we have this Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords has a guy with his little blinders on. Like I said, if I forget to hold the cards up, you can see them on my YouTube, and it'll be up for this. But he has all these swords coming at him for all different directions. And any time that he moves forward, he's going to get cut. Not only because he has these swords in front of him, but he has these blinders on. Because I call this like a batting cage. You're in a batting cage. You definitely can't stop. Definitely. Whew, I need to find a way to clear that one. So as you have the batting cage, you're doing fast pitch and this ball comes, whoo, and you either hit it or don't, or holy shit, it hit you. You don't even have time between events, activities, responsibilities to even stop and address like, ooh, a cheer or a cry or anything. This is that overwhelm. So this indicates that Leo really needs to take some personal time, really learn to start saying no, practice saying no, to everything. That's one of my favorite coaching classes to do is number one, I challenge someone to commit to saying no to everything. And I mean it. I mean, Karma, can you go for coffee? Nope. And I mean, not the things that you really want to do, but say no to everything. No movies for the kids. No, I'm not driving you anywhere. No, I'm not going out. No, I'm not pulling extra shifts. No, just say no to allow yourself to have this experience with what comes up for you when you say no. How many times are you guilted into something? How many times are you putting more on your plate and overcommitting and then not getting done anything done of use? So playing the no game, which is just no to everything. And so you don't get to go to coffee with this friend you haven't seen in a while, but you're going to practice with saying no without giving it any quantifiers. No, I have to work. No, I'm tired. No, I don't have money. No, I don't have time. Just say, no, thank you. I'm not going to make it. Even saying I'm not going to make it is too much. So just say, no, thank you. Have a good time though. And learn to practice with saying no and getting accustomed to saying it so that when you really don't want to say yes, you can be, no, I'm not going to have time to do that. But don't even say that. Just be like, no, I'm not going to be able to help you move on Saturday. And learn to sit in that energy and know, no is okay. It's perfectly fine. So if you give people platitudes and you placate them and you say things like, I'll see what I can do, they're going to, like for me, for a move, I need to know who's going to be there so I can count on these resources, right? So you want to be able to just get comfortable with saying no. And you're going to start to play with this knowledge of your relationship and your triggers with why you say yes and why you put yourself out there more so than you do for yourself. But that overwhelm, right? So I am seeing Otherwise, a lot of balance for you. I see celebration coming up, somebody's birthday. I'm seeing the Knight of Swords where you can be a little agitated, but you go through these complete flips where you're perfectly balanced or you're perfectly agitated. There's no like in between with that. I do see the Moon card next to the Ace of Coins. So the Ace of Coins is you having this surplus of money and victory and all these beautiful height of money. So things are going to come into alignment for you with that one. And I see the Moon card, which is mapping. So here's what happens with a map. You can't know where you're going unless you know where you are. So mapping has to do with like putting and organizing, putting things in order, organizing them, structuring them, budgeting perhaps. I'm also seeing a possible contract for Leo. So there's two things that are popping up for you with that. Leo's also spending a lot of time in looking at the stars, finding out the meaning of things. So you're conflicting little ball of a bunch of things right now, which creates some pace for you. So just be cautious that you're not putting too much on your plate. Make sure you're saying no when you really want to be. So instead of saying yes, make sure that you're clear on what your boundaries are. You prefer to do, because you do the things you prefer to do. If you really feel guilted into something, it breeds resentment. Now you resent this whole Saturday that got eaten up. That was the only day that you had and you gave it away. So just think about where you're saying no. That's coming up for me. And see here, you're also feeling as if your voice isn't being heard. So that's going back to setting your boundaries. Say yes to what you want to say yes to, Leo. Let's pull some cards for you from Mystic Dreamer for your Leo moon reading. This is for Leo moon. For those of you that want your one-on-one day, there's no openings until after 9 tonight. So you want to book your appointment tomorrow. karmaondeck.com. Tonight is class 2 of the Tarot 101 series tonight. If you want to jump in on the next session, we'll be doing a Tuesday late session and a Saturday afternoon. Moving forward, when this series is over, we're going to keep the early session on Thursday. So jump in there. We'll be structuring that. Get your seat now. If you have a financial component, let me know. We'll work out a structure that works for you. I want to see you in the class if you want to be there. All right, here we go. Leo moon. So 2 of Swords is split decision. You're constantly finding yourself going back and forth with thoughts that are going through your head. And you don't feel like you're getting enough data because you have the Hermit card. And this all boils down to betrayal, right? So we have the 2 of Swords, which is indecision. We're not sure how to move forward on some of these thoughts that we have in our head because we're getting overwhelmed, right? And we're pulling in all this evidence. The other thing that's going on with Leo is this 10 of Swords, which is betrayal. You're either carrying too much of other people's burdens, or people have literally just taken more than they give, and you're starting to feel a little depleted because here you have the 5 of Pentacles. That is our hopelessness. It's our lack of faith. It's our inability to trust. We have the 9 of Wands, which is fatigue, and then we have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is our bitch card. Now, I always say, one psychic told me one time that the Queen of Swords was a woman that knows her own mind. But it showed up in readings enough times for me in this similar way that it's like, this person is being a bitch. So if you have the bitch card, it doesn't mean that you're acting out. It just means that you might even be feeling bitchy. You might be playing that card, and just, we all know when we do it. We do. We regret it. We recognize it, and we're just like, oh, well. And sometimes it's needed. And sometimes it brings along that catalyst where we let people know where their boundaries are, because that's the only way they're listening. So it's not a bad thing, like at all. The Moon card is your congruent card between your general and your moon reading. That's the card that talks about fear and mapping, right? So the other deck tells me a little bit more about mapping, but the Moon card talks about fear. So you're not addressing your fear. You're not worried about what the outcome is going to be. You're worried about what all these eventualities that could possibly come, how they're going to affect you. So fear, it's a necessary journey that you have to take. It's a necessary step. However, you are finding that there's a lot of drama going on around you. We have the 8 of Swords. We also have the Knight of Wands. I do see that you're looking for, waiting for an apology from someone, and it may or may not be forthcoming for you. I do see that there's a lot of emotional elements with you in the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. So 7 of Cups is overwhelm and 8 of Swords is drama. That just might mean that there's too many players in the game for you and you're not able to manage and navigate it. That's your emotional reading, Leo. Your Leo moon. Let's pull a card from the Divination of the Ancients and see what your message is for this week. And then back to work. All right, kids. So your Leo. Fate. So Wheel of Fortune. So here's the thing about fate. no storm stays over one house forever. No, I think it's Maya Angelou that said every storm runs out of rain eventually. Here's the thing about Wheel of Fortune, all things in all seasons, times. So pay attention to the moving parts, the mechanism of the motion in your life. They all are patterns. And it takes a whole lot of maturity and self-awareness to notice the patterns, to step out of them long enough to not be reacting to them, to really examine. So give yourself that time to see what's going on with fate. But times are changing for you. Things are wrapping up. And just notice the things that are shifting. No one thing is static. We are a dynamic being. So I just want to encourage you to just know that things are in alignment for you. Give yourself a little grace and love and light, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Likely do a couple more videos tomorrow. So like I always say, love is the answer to love on it. Come from love. Focus on that and definitely blend things for you. Thanks, guys. I will catch you on the flip side.